If you woke up this morning, December 27th, and felt lighter than yesterday, if the heaviness you carried through Christmas has started to lift, good, the discharge is working. But discharge is only the first step, because beneath what released yesterday are three specific patterns that will not leave on their own, three energetic structures that must be consciously dismantled before midnight December 31st, or they transfer automatically into 2026. And according to those who work with Arcturian frequency, these three patterns are not negotiable. They are the difference between entering 2026 aligned or entering 2026 carrying the same blocks that defined 2025. You have 4 days, and this is how you clear them. Yesterday was December 26th, discharge day, and if you allowed it, if you gave yourself permission to feel without forcing understanding, your system released layers of density it absorbed through Christmas. Family emotions, collective anxiety, stored tension, all of it moved through and out. And in that emptying, in that clearing, space opened, space that has not existed in your field for months, maybe longer. But here is what most people do not realize about discharge. Discharge clears surface density, the emotions you witnessed, the stress you absorbed, the temporary weight of recent events. But beneath that surface layer, beneath the Christmas accumulation, are deeper patterns, structural patterns, patterns that have been operating in your field, not for days or weeks, but for months, years, some for your entire life. And these patterns do not release through passive discharge, they require active dismantling. This is why December 27th exists in the 5-day recalibration window. Yesterday you emptied the container. Today you examine what the container is made of. And according to those who describe working with Arcturian protocols, there are three specific patterns that block timeline alignment more than any others. Three patterns that, if left intact, will sabotage every intention you set on New Year's Eve. Three patterns that must be cleared in the next 4 days, or they lock into your 2026 baseline automatically. Think of it this way. Imagine you are moving to a new house. Yesterday, December 26th, you emptied all the boxes, you cleared out the clutter, you created space, but today, December 27th, you realize some of the furniture itself is broken, damaged, structurally compromised. And if you move that broken furniture into the new house, if you carry it with you into 2026, it will not matter how many boxes you cleared, the structure itself is compromised. You will arrange the new space around broken pieces, and those broken pieces will limit how you can live in the new house. These three patterns are the broken furniture, and today is the day you either repair them or leave them behind. This is not optional work. If you want 2026 to be different than 2025, this is foundational, this is structural. This is the work that determines whether your New Year's intentions actually manifest or evaporate by February, like they have every other year. According to the framework passed through those working with these frequencies, the Arcturians have identified three specific energetic patterns that prevent timeline alignment during transition windows. These are not the only patterns that exist. Humans carry hundreds of patterns, thousands of belief systems, countless conditioning loops, but these three are special. These three are what the Arcturians call anchor patterns. Patterns so fundamental to how you operate that they determine which timelines are even accessible to you. You can clear surface patterns endlessly. You can release limiting beliefs, heal childhood wounds, process trauma, do all the inner work. But if these three anchor patterns remain intact, all that other work produces minimal results, because anchor patterns determine your energetic baseline, and your baseline determines your timeline range. Clear the anchor patterns, and higher timelines become accessible. Leave them intact, and you stay locked in the same range regardless of how much other work you do. The first pattern is seeking energy. This is the pattern of constantly searching externally for what can only be found internally, seeking the next activation, the next transmission, the next teacher, the next technique, the next answer. Seeking energy creates a field signature that says, "I do not have what I need." And that signature, that fundamental assumption of incompleteness, attracts experiences that confirm the lack. Here is how seeking energy operates. You watch a spiritual video. You feel activated, inspired, elevated. You think, this is it. This is what I needed. And for a few hours, or maybe a day, you feel different, but then the activation fades, the inspiration wears off, and you are back to baseline. So you search for the next video, the next activation, the next temporary elevation, and the cycle repeats over and over, year after year. This is not growth. This is seeking addiction. And seeking addiction keeps you perpetually in consumer mode rather than embodiment mode. You are always taking in new information, but never stabilizing what you already have. Always seeking the next piece, but never integrating the current piece. Always looking for what is missing, but never recognizing what is present. And this pattern, this endless external searching, prevents you from accessing the internal stability required for higher timeline alignment. The Arcturians describe seeking energy as one of the most persistent blocks to higher timeline access, because higher timelines operate on receiving frequency, not seeking frequency. Higher timelines require you to stabilize in I am already whole, rather than I am looking for wholeness, and you cannot fake this. You cannot affirm your way into receiving frequency while seeking energy runs in the background. The field reads what is actually operating, not what you wish was operating. Your nervous system knows the truth, and it broadcasts that truth constantly. If seeking energy is active in your field right now, it must transform before December 31st, not suppress. Transform from seeking to receiving, from searching to recognizing, from looking outward to stabilizing inward. This is not about becoming passive. This is not about stopping all learning or growth. This is about changing your relationship to growth, from desperate consumption to grounded integration, from I need more to I am enough, and I receive what aligns. The second pattern is unprocessed resentment. This is the pattern of carrying unfinished emotional business with people, situations, or yourself. Resentment is not the same as anger. Anger is clean. Anger is energy in motion. Anger moves through the body, expresses itself, and releases. Anger is healthy when it is allowed to complete, but resentment is anger that was not allowed to complete. Anger that was suppressed because it felt too dangerous to express. Anger that turned inward and became a chronic state. Anger that transformed into a story you tell yourself about why someone wronged you, why something should not have happened, why you deserved better. Resentment creates energetic cords that tie you to the past, not metaphorical cords. Actual field connections that keep you tethered to timelines you consciously want to leave. Every person you resent, every situation you have not forgiven, every grievance you replay mentally creates an anchor point. And those anchor points prevent timeline shifting, because you cannot enter a new timeline while energetically chained to the old one. Your field is literally tied to what you resent, and those ties act like elastic bands. You can move forward temporarily through willpower or positive thinking, but the elastic bands pull you back to the old timeline the moment your conscious effort relaxes. According to those who work with these protocols, resentment is the most common block among starseeds specifically, and this makes sense when you understand the starseed experience. Starseeds often grow up feeling different, misunderstood, unseen. They do not fit in normal social structures. Their families do not understand them. Traditional education feels limiting. Conventional career paths feel soul-crushing. And society at large does not recognize or value their gifts. This experience, repeated over years or decades, creates deep resentment. Resentment toward parents who did not see them. Resentment toward friends who could not understand them. Resentment toward teachers who tried to make them normal. Resentment toward employers who undervalued them. Resentment toward romantic partners who could not meet them. Resentment toward society for being too dense, too unconscious, too focused on survival rather than evolution. And underneath all of that, resentment toward themselves for not being normal, for not fitting in, for making life harder than it needed to be. And here is the paradox. The resentment is justified. The experiences that created it were real. The pain was legitimate. The unfairness was actual. You were misunderstood. You were undervalued. You were not seen or supported in the ways you needed. All of that is true, but justified resentment still blocks your timeline. The field does not care if your resentment is reasonable. It does not evaluate whether you have the right to be resentful. It only registers that you are energetically tied to what you resent. And as long as those ties exist, you cannot move forward cleanly. So the second pattern that must clear before December 31st is unprocessed resentment. Not because forgiveness is morally correct or spiritually evolved, but because resentment is functionally incompatible with timeline alignment. It is a chain, and you cannot move to a new timeline while chained to the old one. The chain must break, and it only breaks through completion, through allowing the suppressed anger to finally move, through cutting the energetic cords consciously. The third pattern is timeline indecision. This is the pattern of straddling multiple probable futures simultaneously without committing to any of them. Timeline indecision sounds like, maybe I will do this, or maybe I will do that. I want this outcome, but I am also keeping that option open. I am ready for change, but I am not ready to let go of safety. I want to move forward, but I do not want to close any doors. Timeline indecision creates energetic split. Your field is trying to resonate with multiple timelines at once, and split resonance creates no resonance. Think of it like trying to tune a radio to two stations simultaneously. You do not get both stations clearly, you get static. Timeline indecision is energetic static, and the Arcturians describe this as one of the primary reasons starseeds feel stuck, frustrated, and unable to manifest clearly. Not because they lack options, not because they lack desire or vision, but because they are trying to hold too many options simultaneously without choosing. This happens for understandable reasons. Choosing feels like limitation. Choosing one path means closing other paths. And what if you choose wrong? What if the path you choose does not work out? What if the path you close was actually the right one? So you hedge, you keep backup plans, you leave doors open, you refuse to commit fully to any direction, and you call this being open to possibilities, being flexible, being spiritually surrendered to whatever wants to emerge. But this is not surrender. This is fear disguised as openness, and the field knows the difference. True surrender is choosing a direction and trusting the process completely. Timeline indecision is refusing to choose and hoping the universe will choose for you, but the universe will not choose for you. The field responds to your choice, not the other way around. You choose through your field coherence, and the field aligns to support that choice. But if your field is split across multiple incompatible directions, the field cannot align. It receives mixed signals, and mixed signals create slow, frustrating, inconsistent results. Choice is not limitation. Choice is power. When you choose one timeline, when you commit your field to one direction, all of your energy flows that direction, momentum builds, manifestation accelerates, synchronicities align, reality reorganizes to support the choice. But when you hedge, when you keep backup plans, when you refuse to close doors, your energy disperses across multiple timelines, and dispersed energy creates minimal impact in any of them. Timeline indecision must resolve before December 31st, because midnight on New Year's Eve is a selection point. Whatever timeline your field is most resonant with at that moment is the one that locks in, and if your field is split across multiple timelines at midnight, the one that locks in will be the default timeline, the path of least resistance, which is almost always continuation of current patterns rather than the breakthrough you consciously desire. So these are the three: seeking energy, unprocessed resentment, timeline indecision. And if even one of these is active in your field right now, the next 4 days are your window to clear it. Not next month, not when you feel ready, now, because the window that makes this clearing easier than normal is already open. The collective field is soft, Resistance is low, and patterns that would normally take months or years to transform can transform in days when the conditions are optimal. These 4 days are optimal conditions. Use them. Now, before we go deeper into how to actually clear these patterns, acknowledge your readiness. If you recognize that at least one of these 3 patterns is active in your field, if you are willing to clear it in the next 4 days rather than carry it into 2026, make a signal. Comment below with these exact words: I release what no longer serves, not as a spiritual platitude, as a commitment, a statement to the field that you understand these patterns must go, and that you are choosing to clear them now while the window is open. Make the statement, then continue. Let us be specific and practical about how to dismantle these patterns, because awareness is not enough. You can recognize seeking energy is running. You can understand it blocks you, but unless you know how to transform it, it continues operating in the background, sabotaging every other practice you try. So here is the protocol for clearing seeking energy before December 31st. First, you must become aware of when seeking is active. Seeking has a specific feeling signature. It feels like restlessness, like something is missing, like you need to find the next thing that will finally complete you. It shows up as compulsive scrolling through spiritual content, buying courses you do not complete, watching transmission after transmission without integrating any of them, jumping from practice to practice, teacher to teacher, modality to modality, always looking for the thing that will finally be enough, the thing that will finally make you feel whole. Today, December 27th, your task is to catch seeking in action. Every time you feel the urge to search for more information, more activation, more external input, pause. Do not judge it. Do not suppress it. Do not make it wrong. Just notice it. Say internally, seeking is active. That is all. Just label it, name it, bring it into conscious awareness, because seeking cannot transform if you do not recognize when it is operating. This sounds simple, but most people have been seeking for so long that it feels normal. It feels like who they are, like their personality. I am someone who loves to learn, who is always growing, who stays curious, and those are beautiful qualities. But when learning becomes seeking, when growth becomes addiction, when curiosity becomes restlessness, the shadow has taken over. And the shadow must be seen before it can transform. Spend today becoming intimately familiar with what seeking feels like in your body, not in your mind. In your body, where do you feel it? Chest? Throat? Solar plexus? What does it feel like? Tight? Empty? Urgent? Anxious? Does it create shallow breathing? Does it create mental spinning? Does it create an inability to be present? Learn the physical signature of seeking, because once you can recognize it in your body, you can interrupt it before it takes over. Second, you practice the opposite of seeking, which is not suppressing the urge. The opposite of seeking is receiving. And receiving has a specific practice. Sit quietly, no distractions, no music, no candles or incense or anything else, just you and silence. Close your eyes, place both hands over your heart, and breathe slowly. Deep belly breaths. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, exhale for 6 counts, pause for 2 counts, repeat. With each inhale, imagine you are breathing in everything you have been seeking externally. Completeness, clarity, activation, guidance, support, love, purpose, connection. Imagine it is already here, already inside you, already available in this moment. You are not pulling it from somewhere else. You are recognizing it is already present, already whole, already complete. With each exhale, release the belief that you need to find it elsewhere. Release the story that you are incomplete. Release the urgency that drives the seeking. Just let it go. Breathe it out, over and over. Inhale fullness, exhale seeking, inhale presence, exhale urgency, inhale wholeness, exhale lack. This is not affirmation. This is not positive thinking. This is field adjustment. You are training your nervous system to recognize that you are already full, already complete, already connected, and what you have been seeking externally is already accessible internally. The practice rewires the pattern from external dependence to internal recognition, from seeking to receiving. Practice this for at least 20 minutes today, longer if you can, and every time seeking energy arises over the next 4 days, return to this practice. Hands on heart. Breathe in what you are seeking. Exhale the belief you need to find it. Over and over. This rewires the pattern from seeking to receiving, from external dependence to internal recognition, and by December 31st, if you practice this consistently, receiving will feel more natural than seeking. And that shift in baseline changes everything. Third, you implement a seeking fast. For the next 4 days, until midnight December 31st, you consume no new spiritual content except what directly supports integration of what you already know. No new videos unless they review concepts you are actively working with. No new teachings, no new transmissions, no new courses, no new books. You work only with what you have already received. This is not deprivation, this is consolidation. Seeking energy thrives on constant novelty. The seeking fast starves it, and in that starvation, receiving frequency can stabilize. Many people resist the seeking fast because seeking has become their identity. I am someone who is always learning, always growing, always seeking more. But that identity is the problem. You are not someone who needs more. You are someone who needs to integrate what you already have, and integration requires you to stop adding and start stabilizing. The seeking fast creates the space for that stabilization. It forces you to work with what you have, rather than constantly reaching for what you do not have. And in that forced focus, depth replaces breadth, integration replaces consumption, receiving replaces seeking. The seeking fast is hard, especially in the first 24 hours. You will feel the urge to watch just one more video, to check just one more channel, to see what new transmissions are available. This is the seeking pattern, fighting for survival. Let the urge be there, feel it fully, but do not act on it. This is the work, feeling the urge without feeding it. And every time you feel the urge without acting, the pattern weakens and receiving frequency strengthens. The second pattern, unprocessed resentment, requires a different protocol, because resentment is not intellectual, it is emotional, and emotional patterns do not clear through understanding or awareness alone. They clear through completion, through allowing the suppressed energy to finally move. So here is how to complete unprocessed resentment before December 31st. First, you identify who and what you resent. This is not pleasant work, but it is necessary. Most people carry resentments they are not even consciously aware of. Resentments that operate in the background, draining energy, creating bitterness, sabotaging relationships and opportunities. So you must excavate, bring them into the light, make them conscious. Take paper and pen, not a device, not a phone or computer. Handwriting creates different neural pathways and accesses different layers of consciousness. Write this question at the top: who or what am I still resenting? Then write without editing, without censoring, without making it pretty or spiritual. Just write. Every person, every situation, every experience where you feel wronged, betrayed, dismissed, unseen, undervalued or harmed. You might resent your parents for not understanding you, your siblings for not supporting you, your partner for not seeing you, your ex-partner for leaving you, your children for draining you, your friends for abandoning you, your job for undervaluing you, your boss for dismissing you, society for not supporting you, the government for failing you, the spiritual community for being too superficial, other teachers for being frauds, yourself for choices you made, for opportunities you missed, for people you hurt, for time you wasted, God or the universe or source for experiences you endured, for prayers that went unanswered, for suffering that felt meaningless. Write it all, because what remains hidden remains active. What becomes conscious can be cleared. Do not judge what comes up. Do not minimize it by saying, well, it was not that bad, or other people have it worse. Your resentment is valid regardless of how it compares to others. Do not spiritualize it by saying, everything happens for a reason, or it was a lesson. That is bypassing. Right now you are excavating, not explaining, not justifying, just revealing. What is the resentment? Who or what do you resent? Right until nothing more comes. This might take 15 minutes. This might take an hour. Give it the time it needs. Second, you speak the resentment fully, not to the person you resent, to the empty space, to the universe, to yourself. This is not about confrontation. This is not about sending them an angry letter or having a difficult conversation. This is about completion, about letting the suppressed energy finally express itself. Choose one resentment from your list, the strongest one, the one that carries the most charge when you read it, the one that makes your chest tight or your jaw clench or your stomach turn, and speak directly to that person or situation as if they are present in front of you. Say everything you have not said, everything you suppressed to be nice, to keep peace, to avoid conflict, to protect yourself. Let the anger come, let the pain come, let the unfairness be spoken. You hurt me, you dismissed me, you did not see me, you should have protected me, you failed me, you abandoned me, you betrayed me. Whatever it is, say it out loud, with full emotion. Do not perform this for anyone. Feel it. Let your body shake if it needs to. Let your voice break. Let tears come. Scream if you need to. Cry if you need to. Rage if you need to. This step terrifies many people because it feels dangerous to access suppressed anger. It feels unspiritual. It feels like you are going backward rather than forward. But suppressed anger is more dangerous than expressed anger, because suppressed anger operates unconsciously, sabotaging your field without your awareness, creating bitterness and resentment and energetic cords that prevent timeline shifting. Expressed anger completes and releases. It moves through and out. Suppressed anger becomes chronic resentment, and resentment becomes chronic field contamination that blocks everything. So speak it, fully, completely. Do not edit. Do not make it nice. Do not try to be fair or balanced or understanding. That comes later. Right now you are completing what was interrupted. You are letting the energy that was suppressed finally move, and it needs to move fully before it can release. Speak until you feel empty, until there are no more words, until the charge dissolves. This might take 5 minutes. This might take 30 minutes. Let it take as long as it needs. Third, you release the energetic cord. After you have spoken the resentment fully, after you have let the emotion move through completely, after you feel empty rather than full of charge, you consciously cut the energetic attachment. This is the completion, the sealing, the final step that actually frees you. Close your eyes, breathe slowly, visualize the person or situation in front of you, see them clearly. Now see the energetic cord connecting your body to them. Usually, this cord extends from your solar plexus or heart, sometimes from your throat. See it clearly. What color is it? How thick is it? How does it feel? Heavy, draining, tight? Just observe it. Now visualize a blade of blue-white light appearing in your hand. This is your severing tool. It is made of pure consciousness, pure clarity, pure loving detachment. And with one clean motion, cut the cord. See it sever completely. See both ends dissolve into light. As you cut it, say aloud, I release you. I release this. The debt is cleared. The attachment is severed. I am free. You are free. It is done. Do not say this before the emotion completes. That is spiritual bypassing. That is trying to skip the anger and jump straight to forgiveness. It does not work. You cannot truly forgive what you have not fully felt, so say it after you have honored the pain, after you have spoken the truth, after the charge has moved. Then the release is real, then the cord actually cuts, then the freedom is genuine. You will know the cord is cut because you will feel physically lighter. Your chest will open, your breathing will deepen. The person or situation will feel more distant, not because you stopped caring, but because you stopped being energetically bound. You can think about them without heaviness, without charge, without the old story activating. You might even feel compassion, not forced compassion, natural compassion that arises when you are no longer in pain. This is freedom, real freedom, and it must happen before December 31st, because every uncut cord is an anchor preventing timeline shift. Every person you resent keeps you tied to the timeline where that resentment lives, and you cannot enter a new timeline while anchored to the old one. The cords must cut, the resentments must complete, and the freedom must stabilize before midnight December 31st, or you carry the chains into 2026. Repeat this process for each major resentment on your list. You may not complete all of them in 4 days. That is okay. The universe is not demanding perfection. It is asking for effort, for conscious participation. Complete the ones with the strongest charge, the ones that drain your energy most, the ones that activate most frequently. Clear those, and the smaller resentments will often release automatically once the major ones complete, because the pattern itself weakens, and smaller resentments cannot sustain themselves without the larger ones feeding the pattern. The third pattern, timeline indecision, requires clarity, not more information. Clarity, and clarity comes through subtraction, not addition, through eliminating options rather than exploring more options, through choosing rather than considering. So here is how to resolve timeline indecision before December 31st. First, you name the timelines you are straddling. Timeline indecision exists because you are trying to keep multiple options open simultaneously, so identify them. Make them conscious. What are the different directions you are considering for 2026? What are the different versions of your life you are holding as possibilities? Write them down clearly. Timeline A, I do this. Timeline B, I do that. Timeline C, I do something else. Be specific. Vague timelines cannot be chosen. I want to be happy is not a timeline. That is a feeling. I want things to get better is not a timeline. That is a hope. I move to a new city and start fresh is a timeline. I stay where I am and deepen current relationships is a timeline. I quit my job and pursue creative work full-time is a timeline. I stay in my job and build my creative work on the side is a timeline. Name them specifically with concrete details. You will probably identify 2 to 4 main timelines you are straddling. More than 4 means you are completely dispersed and need to consolidate first. If you identify more than 4, group similar timelines together. Look for the major categories. You are not mapping every possible variation. You are looking for the main directions your energy is split between. Second, you feel into each timeline without judgment. This is not about deciding which is best. This is not about analyzing pros and cons. This is not about thinking. This is about sensing. Close your eyes, breathe slowly until your mind quiets, and imagine yourself fully in timeline A, not thinking about it, not observing it from outside, but being in it, living it, 6 months from now, a year from now, fully embodied in that reality. How does your body feel in this timeline? Does it create expansion or contraction, ease or tension, calm or anxiety, lightness or heaviness? Does your breath deepen or shallow? Does your chest open or close? Does your jaw relax or tighten? Pay attention to your body's response, not your mind's commentary. Your mind will rationalize. Your mind will defend the safe choice or romanticize the exciting choice, but your body knows. Your body responds to timeline resonance with calm and to timeline misalignment with tension. Sit with timeline A until you sense the body's response clearly. Really feel into it. Then gently release that timeline. Take a few clearing breaths and move to timeline B. Same process. Imagine yourself fully in it. 6 months from now, a year from now, living that reality completely. How does your body respond? expansion or contraction, ease or tension, calm or anxiety. Just notice, do not judge, just feel. Then timeline C, if it exists. Then timeline D. For each one, you are looking for the body's truth, not the mind's preference. What you are searching for is the timeline that creates the deepest calm in your body, not excitement, calm. This is critical, because excitement can be ego anticipation, excitement can be fear-based thrill-seeking, excitement can be fantasy, divorced from reality, but calm is field recognition. Calm is your nervous system saying, yes, this resonates, this aligns, this is right, even though I might not understand why. The aligned timeline might not be the most exciting one. It might not be the one that sounds best to your friends or family. It might not be the safest one or the most logical one, but it will be the one that makes your body relax, that makes your breath slow, that creates a sense of yes, this is right, without needing external validation or logical proof. Trust that. Your body knows your aligned timeline before your mind can explain it. Third, you choose, and this is where most people fail. They do the sensing work. They identify the aligned timeline clearly. They feel the body's calm response, and then they refuse to choose it, because choosing means closing other doors. Choosing means risk. Choosing means commitment. Choosing means burning the ships and going all in without backup plans. So they stay in indecision, hoping the universe will choose for them, hoping circumstances will force the choice, so they do not have to take responsibility for it. But the universe will not choose for you. The field responds to your choice, not the other way around. So after you identify the aligned timeline through body sensing, you make a formal choice. You speak it aloud, standing if possible, grounded, present. I choose timeline. Prescribe it specifically. I commit my energy fully to this direction. I close all other options. I release all backup plans. I am all in. Feel the weight of those words. Feel what it means to choose, to commit, to close other doors. Let any fear that arises be present, but choose anyway. And then, this is absolutely critical, you take one concrete action within 24 hours that moves you toward that timeline. Not a big action necessarily, a signal action. Something that demonstrates to your field that the choice is real, that this is not just words, that you are actually committed. If the aligned timeline is moving to a new city, the signal action might be researching neighborhoods or calculating moving costs or visiting the city. If the aligned timeline is starting creative work full-time, the signal action might be setting up a workspace or registering a business name or creating a project timeline. If the aligned timeline is deepening current relationships, the signal action might be scheduling quality time or having an honest conversation or making a commitment. The specific action matters less than the timing and the demonstration within 24 hours of choosing something concrete, something that proves to your field this is real, because action cements choice. Choice without action is just another form of indecision. It is thinking about choosing while still keeping all options open. But action closes doors. Action demonstrates commitment, and commitment focuses your energy. When you choose and act, energy that was dispersed across multiple possibilities suddenly focuses into one clear direction. And that focused energy creates momentum, creates manifestation, creates synchronicity, creates the field support you have been seeking. Timeline indecision clears the moment you choose and act, not when you think about choosing, when you actually choose and demonstrate that choice through action. And choosing feels like relief, like finally exhaling after holding your breath, like energy that was stuck suddenly flows, like confusion that was chronic suddenly clears. This is how you know the choice is real. You feel the release of split energy and the power of unified direction, and that release and power carry you into 2026 with momentum rather than hesitation. Many people wonder how they will know if the clearing worked. How will you know if seeking transformed to receiving, if resentment actually released, If timeline indecision actually resolved, here are the signs, the markers, the evidence that the patterns have cleared. For seeking energy, you will notice that spiritual content feels different. You can watch a video or read a teaching and feel satisfied rather than hungry for more. You feel complete rather than incomplete. You recognize value without needing to immediately consume the next thing. You can sit in silence without restlessness, without urgency, without the compulsive need to fill the space with input. And when you do consume content, you integrate it before moving to the next piece. This is receiving frequency, and you will know it by the absence of restlessness and the presence of contentment. For unprocessed resentment, you will notice that certain people or situations no longer trigger you. You can think about them without heaviness, without the old story activating, without charge in your body. You might even feel neutral, or if not neutral, at least free. Free from the energetic attachment, free from the need for them to change, or apologize, or acknowledge what they did, free from the cord that kept you tied to that timeline. And in that freedom, you will notice your energy returns, because resentment is one of the most draining patterns, and when it clears, the energy it was consuming becomes available for creation. For timeline indecision, you will notice that your path feels obvious, clear, simple, not because all doubt disappeared, but because you chose, and choice creates clarity, even when circumstances remain uncertain. You stop second-guessing, stop wondering if you should have chosen differently, stop keeping backup plans active just in case. You are committed, all in, and that commitment feels like power rather than limitation, like freedom rather than constraint, like alignment rather than compromise. These are the signs, and if you experience even one of them before December 31st, the clearing is working. Trust the process. Trust the protocols, trust that the field is softer right now than it will be in January, and use these 4 days to complete what would normally take months. If you are feeling the pull to not just understand these clearing protocols intellectually, but to actually practice them with support, with guidance, with structure and accountability, there is a space designed for exactly that. Inside the members area connected to this channel, you will find guided clearing practices for each of these 3 patterns, meditations specifically designed to transform seeking into receiving, somatic practices for completing and releasing resentment without re-traumatizing yourself, timeline clarification exercises for resolving indecision with precision and confidence. This is not about more information. You already have the protocol. You have the steps. You have the knowledge. This is about supported practice, because clearing deep patterns alone is hard. It is vulnerable. It is easy to get stuck or overwhelmed, or to quit halfway through when the resistance gets intense. Clearing them with guidance is easier. Someone walking you through each step, reminding you what is normal, helping you navigate the difficult moments. And clearing them with others who are doing the same work is easiest, because you realize you are not alone. You realize these patterns are not personal failures but collective human conditioning. You realize that everyone struggles with seeking or resentment or indecision in some form, and that collective recognition creates safety, creates permission to be honest, creates field coherence that makes the individual work feel less isolating and more supported. The membership space offers that structure, not because you need it to succeed. You can absolutely do this work alone using the protocols in this video. But the membership accelerates integration. It provides accountability. It creates coherence field that makes the work feel less heavy, and it offers ongoing support, not just during this 5-day window, but throughout the entire year, because windows like this open regularly. Lunar cycles, equinoxes, solstices, planetary alignments, collective reset moments. And if you want to learn to recognize and utilize all of them, the membership offers that training. The link is in the description, but only explore it if it feels calm, if there is quiet knowing rather than urgent grasping, if it feels like next step rather than desperate fix. because even the decision to join is a test of whether seeking has transformed. If you are joining from seeking energy, trying to find the thing that will finally complete you, the membership will not help. But if you are joining from receiving frequency, recognizing it as aligned support for work you are already doing, then it becomes powerful. Readiness determines everything. This is where the explanation ends and the work begins. You now understand the 3 patterns that block 2026 alignment: seeking energy, unprocessed resentment, timeline indecision. You know why they must clear. You understand what happens if they do not, and you have detailed protocols for clearing each one. The information is complete. The teaching is finished. Now it is about execution, about actual practice, about doing the work rather than thinking about the work. Today is December 27th. You have 4 days until midnight, December 31st. 4 days to dismantle patterns that may have been operating for years or decades. This sounds like pressure, like an impossible deadline, but it is not, because the field is soft right now, the collective is paused, the window is open, and patterns that would normally take months to clear can clear in hours when the conditions are optimal. These 4 days are optimal conditions. Use them. Do not waste them. Do not wait. Do not tell yourself you will do it later when you have more time or feel more ready. Later the window closes. Later the field hardens. Later the work becomes difficult again. Do not overthink this. Do not make it more complicated than it is. Choose one pattern, the one that feels most active, the one that charged most strongly when you read about it, the one your body responded to. Start there. Use today for that pattern. Follow the protocol step by step. Do the uncomfortable work. Feel the difficult feelings. Make the hard choices. And trust that completion is possible, that freedom is available, that these patterns can actually clear if you are willing to do what it takes. Tomorrow, December 28th, is Timeline Clarification Day in the larger 5-day recalibration window, but you can continue clearing if needed. The days overlap. The work supports itself. There is no rigid schedule, just consistent effort, just honest participation, just willingness to face what has been avoided and release what has been held. And if you clear even one of these 3 patterns before December 31st, you will arrive at New Year's Eve significantly lighter, significantly clearer, significantly more aligned. You will not be hoping for change. You will already be changed. The patterns that blocked you in 2025 will be gone, and the timeline that opens for 2026 will reflect that clearing, will match that new baseline, will align with that freed energy. The Arcturians are observing who clears consciously and who carries unconsciously, not to judge, to position, because starseeds who clear patterns proactively during optimal windows demonstrate specific capacities. They demonstrate awareness of energetic timing. They demonstrate willingness to do uncomfortable inner work. They demonstrate ability to execute rather than just consume information. And those demonstrations determine how you are utilized in 2026, not as reward or punishment. As calibration, you are met where you are, and where you are is determined by what you are willing to release. The clearing window is open, the patterns are identified, the protocols are given. All that remains is your willingness to do the work. Not think about the work, not understand the work. Do the work. Release what no longer serves. Clear what blocks alignment. Choose what creates coherence. And arrive at 2026 free, lighter, clearer, ready. The transmission is complete. The clearing begins now. Proceed with honesty. Proceed with courage. Proceed with commitment. The next 4 days determine your next 12 months. Use them wisely.